Let's try it again. Let's try it again. Hey Zelin, how's it going? What is the up? Make it more difficult to do something simple. Ezelin, Dame Deviant, Atski, Stygias, Bruder Romanus, Eternal Lady, what is cooking? I am bushy. Alright, so, in the honor of Study Monday, I thought we will do something differently. I will do this from memory, but I want, if you decide to do the study, it's going to be a 3-part study. So we're going to do this 3 Mondays in a row. The idea is that I've taken line art from someone. The line art being line art from Michael Kenji, random. And we're going to do 3 different times of day. We're going to paint 3 different times of day on this subject. So today we're going to do 1 time of day. Tomorrow or next Monday we're going to do a second and then a third. So we have 3 different types of day. So morning, midday, evening, or morning, night, sunset, whatever you decide. But 3 different, significantly different times of day and moods. And we're going to use the same line art every time so that there's a difference, right? So if you decide to do this study, please do use reference so you can practice seeing what it does look like in real life. So one of the things I think we should do, what you should do, is that you have the line art. Let's see, should that color? How should I do this? Actually, I do it like this. Makes it easier. Set the line art to multiply, and I paint underneath. Yeah. Anyways, so my suggestion is put the line art on multiply on a layer above. So when you paint, God damn it. So when you paint, you can switch off the line art, and you should get the painting if you want the painting stand alone. Hey Frenchy, how's it going? So this is this next following 3 days or 3 Mondays is mood and light study. So the first one, I'm going to go for like early more sunrise in my mind. And like I said, if you decide to do these studies, apostrophe ref for the line art. So I would love to see you all use the same line art, and proclaim the mood you're going for, and then look at reference to understand what happens with colors and so on. For me, I'm doing it without ref because I want the challenge to do it in my mind. But potentially I'll shoot myself in the foot, but we'll see how it goes. But ideally you use ref for this. This is definitely a ref kind of thing, so that when you look at it, your reference, because it's line art, you are forced to follow it, and you can't follow the reference, but you can find reference and analyze the reference, right? So that when you do your own stuff, or your colors on top of this line art, you will absorb the information better. Hey, Adores Arts, how's it going? Welcome, you're new. Yeah. Captain Bose, yeah, it's a good practice. It's a good practice. It's definitely good practice. And what's really good as well is that you can decide the color of, let's say, green green jacket. The green should be the green on all of them, right? It's going to be a pumpkin, so it's going to be a pumpkin color on all of them. But you're going to have to try to figure out, okay, what happens with orange when the sun hits it, right? And what happens with green when it's midday, you know. So it becomes a little bit of a do your homework type thing, right? Which I think is a great thing to do. I'm currently in a little bit of a struggle here. I'm trying to figure out, okay, how am I going to solve, because I'm not looking at ref, right? I'm shooting myself in the foot, like I said. What is the temperature when you have sunrise coming in and hitting you, that warm tone, right? And below you is the cool, early, like foggy morning. That's what I'm currently like trying to nail in my head, which is the really tricky part. And if I would have looked at reference, it would have been significantly easier of me to figure that out. Adoris, again, line art is not by me. It is by Michael Kenji, which was a random Google or a random search on ArtStation for line art. So I am not the author of the line art. I am just using his line art for this study. And the study is 3 different times of day. So half an hour each time. 3 times we're going to do this study. And we're going to shift time of day every session. So currently now I decided on mine to do sunrise. Hey Weeping Jay, how's it going? Amir, what up? Yeah, so the idea here, right, is, like I said, I don't think I'm doing myself any services by not looking at reference. But nevertheless, I want to do that practice. I want to see if I can source that information from my mind. But for the best result and the biggest lessons to be learned is definitely look at ref, and when you have reference, analyze it, understand it, and apply it. That's the best way to learn. And like you say, Captain Boss, you are really bad at painting colors. There's no better way than to just dive right in. Adoris. Yeah, this the what's it called? The line art is there as a. I mean, I could have easily taken my own line art, but I felt like let's give someone some credit. So I decided like I'm gonna use someone else's art, and I will notify Michael Kenji on over a private message on ArtStation that we're using his line art, just for fun. Because if someone did it to me, used my line art to do their homework with or whatever, I'm not making any, I'm not selling this in any way, shape, or form, so I'm not making money on his art. But nevertheless, if someone would do that to learn, I would like to know. So I'm gonna do the same to Michael. I'm gonna let him know. And that's why it would be fun if more of you would use it, so we could tell him after the fact. So I'm contemplating, and after we've done these 3 different types of mood, to just private message him and say, we used your line art. So let's see, in my mind, it's gonna have to be more pink, I think. I feel like I'm missing out on some of pinks to get that fresh morning glow. What am I missing? Cooler light on the pumpkin. I'm trying to. Maybe I went too warm. Man, I should have looked at reference. Well, let's go. I'm eating both. Absolutely. I mean, it's great practice. And if you're bad at it, it's definitely a good thing to practice. I'm not the best, as you can see. I am like significantly struggling with remembering colors and tones and so on in this like cold early morning. But I want to challenge myself to see if I can capture that feeling. And it's a really good practice. So, I don't mind. Hey, Captain Jetlag, how's it going? I have a totally different style of drawing, and creepy drawings, like, are interesting sometimes. Adoris, yeah, this is definitely a creepy drawing. Michael Kenji had a lot of weird, like, scary people in bags over their head, cutting body parts off and playing golf with arms. And this one was the least scary, even though it is pretty messed up, with a head collector. But there wasn't a lot to choose from when you searched for ArtStation and line art. There's a tip for anyone who's doing line art. Make sure you tag your line art, because there's not a lot to offer. Amir. Well, it's differently actually. Cold morning and cold evening is different kind of temperature. Like ideally, I'd have ArtStation. Ideally, I'd have something like I could light up behind it, you know, going like, "Hey, you see, morning." See, maybe I'll add a horizon, some mist. I know I'm almost there in terms of tone, but it's something that, what is it? It's too much orange. Man, I wanna know, but I don't want to look at reference, because I've set myself this challenge to figure out the colors myself. So please have reference when you do this. Zeolin, there is a difference, absolutely. Captain Jetlag, wow, that's beautiful. That's a great surprise. Um, Zeolin, I would say the difference is line art that is supposed to stand alone without paint. You take a lot more care of the line weight, detailing. Uh, you know, you approach it more like towards a final drawing. With line art that is supposed to be an underdrawing for a painting, it's arbitrary. It doesn't matter. It only requires to be at a certain point where you yourself need it to be. Where line art that is supposed to stand alone, it's not going to be improved upon anymore, right? It's just going to be that. So it's going to require all the box to be ticked with line art in forms of presentation and render and complexity and so on. French, lack of blue. Right, so like if you would switch off the line art, you could start seeing, the mood. Which is pretty cool, and that's the beauty of arranging your layers and having a little bit more of structure, especially if you're going to use line art for an underpainting. That you let's say you sketch something on paper and you want to use the line art for a painting, so you do it this way, and then when you're done with the line art, you just switch it off and you have a painting underneath, instead of painting away the lines. I mean, some people love painting away the lines, me being one of them. I always, if I use line art, I merge line art into the painting because I love the little accidents and dirty edges line art gives. Personally, but it depends on also what style I'm going for. Hey Miguel, how's it going? Captain Boss. Yeah, that's also a good way to do it. You can definitely decrease the um, opacity like this. But the problem is when you do that, sometimes it acts as of kind of like a being too careful in between. At the moment now, it is quite bold, and it's easier. Like in terms of hierarchy, we can clearly see which in hierarchy of presentation, right? The line art is quite dominant. When we switch it off, the colors become the dominant. But if we go like 50-50, the presentation is 50-50. And it's also hard to know where you should devote your effort in, right? So here I know I don't need to touch the darks because the darks act as a thing here. Here's zero darks, so like if I want to add the correct type of dark in here, like in the mouth cavity and so on, I would need to have lower opacity. It would make more sense to have a lower don't paint on the line art. It would make more sense to have it on a lower opacity, right? Like then you would see the changes I'm doing. So it's all I would say case sensitive. Sometimes it's good to do it, sometimes it's not good to do it, and it's good to I guess vary or at least be aware of it. And I'm gonna lock that layer. God damn. Photoshop needs like warning system. Like a blinking light. You are now painting on the wrong layer. Step away from the pen. Oh, you're painting an orc. That's pretty cool. Captain Boast. Yeah, that works too. That works too. Yeah, but it's a fun challenge to do this. I strongly recommend that you do this practice. Um, you can use your own line art if you want, or you can use Michael Kenji's, which I'm using. But it's really, really good practice to try to master the temperatures of the time and day you set out to paint, and use reference to capture the correct type of palette, because I am not, which is working against me. I am doing a lot of soul searching, if you may. I'm trying to remember what the tone is, which ideally I would look, if I want to learn something new, I should have reference. But I was thinking I'll do this one without reference, and the next study Monday, where I set out to do another time of day mood, I will use reference. just to show you the difference, right? Amir, yeah, definitely. Hey Mel, how's it going? I think I'm missing a little bit of the correct colors for the pumpkin. I think it needs to be a cooler, but it's being hit by morning light, which passes through a lot of cold air. Mm. Hey, follow. Cheers. So I feel like now I need to use overlay. If I would use traditional colors, I would probably, wash, do gentle washes. I just want to try on a separate layer to give it that correct glow. And I need to simplify the part palette wise that's lower down, because I feel like it's a little bit too wide. That's a bit better, actually. I do enjoy seeing that more. I think I'll add a little bit of light hitting the edge of the handle. Let's flip the image. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure about the light on the head. I feel I'm stuck there. I want that glow feeling, but I can't seem to nail it the way I see it in my head. And that's where ref would come in big play. Adjust some of that bounce light. Usually it's those subtle things that makes an image. Where's that scatter brush? Where are you? Where are you? Huh? Oh. Count them both. Yeah, that's good. That's a really good practice to do. I mean, I always try to see it like we have the information in here. Like we've all seen an early morning. We've all stood in an early morning looking out over a field and going, "Oh, this is a crisp morning." Um, the hard part is to go in here and extract it and understand it and then use it. That's the hard part. It's the same when we did the draw a horse without reference challenge. You know, we've all seen a horse, right? We all know instinctively when we see a horse, a photo of a horse or a real horse, we go, "Oh, that's a horse." Without a doubt. I know that because I've seen one. And then you try to draw one. And then you go like, "Oh, the information is in there, but I need to find it. I can't do it." And then you burn and crash and fail dramatically. Zealin, yeah, yeah. I mean, some people do. A lot of people do. Especially those with a lot of, what's it called? Decotage. Is that the word for the appropriate word for cleavage? And you have a decotage and Instagram account, right? I mean, hey, what's up? What's up, Ice Die? What's cooking? I'm gonna do a small little addition and then I have to call it a day. All right, so that's the challenge. We're gonna do 3 different moods, times of day, 1 mood each Monday. So this time I decided I'll do a sunrise, like a crisp morning. Looking at it, I see that I need to do one more thing. It isn't cool and crisp enough in the background. Like there approximately is where I want it. That was it. That's pretty much a lot better already. I'm cheating. I'm cheating. A lot more like a crisp morning, kind of. Let's see, without. Yeah, that's way more morning. I think I need to lower the intensity down here a little bit. Better. All right. So hopefully you guys will do this challenge. It's good fun. There's a lot of lessons to be had. Let's find someone to raid. And I have to get going. Design shit. Someone is doing skeleton studies. The last person we raided last time. What is Agoto doing? He usually draws some cool stuff. Dragon Ball Z type stuff, maybe? I have no idea. Let's raid it. Well, thanks, Captain Boss. So, good night. Have a great day. See you tomorrow morning. Hopefully, you will do this. Otherwise, tomorrow morning we're gonna continue on the raid runner, tunnel runner. Design the driver maybe, or dive deeper into the finer parts of which one to draw again. Anyways, outro and then raid. Have a good one. Toodles.